Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report, because without you guys, well, nobody'd be watching this channel now, would they? Well, I've got actually some sad news to report. The Cowboys have released Dan Skipper. Yeah, you know, we're talking about the mountain of the man that is, the 6'8", 6'10"?
Yes,
6'10" mountain of a man, Dan Skipper, who actually had some decent moves and stuff during training camp. The guy was really big, and that's sometimes, believe it or not, a problem being a tackle, being that tall, because players can get underneath of you. But he was looked at as a project, and he was on the practice squad, but they've released him to bring in an offensive tackle from the Giants. Surprisingly enough, he used to actually be a defensive lineman, and from what I'm told, he actually played better as a defensive lineman than offensive tackle. You know, thus his life in the NFL. It's actually kind of sad because, you know, you've got so many guys out there that bust their ass and, you know, really work hard to try and make a team and, you know, live their dream of becoming a professional football player. But the odds are stacked against you. It's really difficult. I mean, there's only so many slots. And when you get there, staying there is a bitch. You're literally one play away from your career ending. That's why I think these guys should get as much money as they can when they can. Because when football is done with you, it doesn't matter who you are. You can be a Super Bowl MVP. You can be, you know, a record-setting running back. It doesn't matter. Football is a cold lover. They will kick you out the door and move on to the next one in a heartbeat. So, hats off to Dan Skipper. Maybe somehow, some way, he'll get back on our practice squad. But as crappy as that New York Giants offensive line is, heck, they may sign him. And in some other news, get your popcorn ready. We're about to have a smackdown between Michael Irvin and LaDainian Tomlinson. Apparently, Michael Irvin took offense to Zeke Elliott being called out by LaDainian Tomlinson. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about that situation, because I kind of said before, Terrell Davis messed up his knee on trying to stop an interception. Ended his career, basically, because he was never the same once that knee went. At that point, that game was pretty much out of control. Yeah, Zeke could have probably gotten in there. Maybe we would have had a chance to come back and all that. But like I've said before, some days you just don't have it. And when you've seen instances where, like, Brett Favre was trying to stop a turnover, you know, guys get blindsided. If you remember Sean Lee, when we got an interception, got blindsided by a wide receiver and knocked the F out. So, you know, I'm not sure that I want my franchise running back in the middle of trying to make a tackle and possibly get hurt and lost for the season or have his career done. But, you know, it is what it is. It just looks bad. But here's the interesting thing. Cowboys, anything happens, it's blown up. I mean, it's truly blown up. You know, we're like, oh, you know, they need to discipline him or suspend him for a game. Now, believe me, the whole Zeke Elliott situation has just been ugly. And quite frankly, if I had that much weighting down on me, I'm not sure I'd be able to function at all. Because he has literally been a rag doll with being suspended, being not suspended, the NFL going back after. This whole thing has been a mess. Maybe we need to give the guy a little bit of slack and understand that he is going through a whole lot as a 22-year-old. But here's what's interesting to me is how everybody goes about the Dallas Cowboys and everything else, about how bad it is. Here it is, the Cincinnati Bengals are damn near having a mutiny. Andy Dalton is looking like trash and looking like he's about to be benched. They fired their offensive coordinator. Marvin Lewis probably should have been fired years ago, but Cincinnati is too cheap to go ahead and hire somebody else to replace him. Could you imagine if that was the Dallas Cowboys? I mean, think about it. If we had that kind of drama, it would be blown up. It would break the internet. Other teams, not so much. So, I guess that's one of the reasons why it just sucks to be a Dallas Cowboy player. You are going to be in the spotlight on every single play, every second on the sideline, every moment of your life. You're going to get scrutinized to hell. But hey, at least you get to be a Dallas Cowboy. So friends, that's all I got for you this morning. As always, I'm out to work. They tell me, don't quit your day job, even though it runs through the night sometimes. And I will see you guys soon.